Okay, so the main difference between trimming a bowl and trimming a cylinder is the curve of the inset foot. It's the only real difference. Otherwise, it's pretty much the same. We'll start with getting it centered. So we're going to go wobbling around over to here. We'll go with like right there and stop. Push it away. Half the distance it was wobbling. And do that again. Got it pretty well centered here. So take our little wads, stick it down. Again, we don't have these quite touching when I set them next to it, and then I push down so that they expand into it. Opposite sides at the same time. We can even adjust these over a little. And make sure it's still centered, or fine-tune the centering from there. There's a little wobble right there. Push it away. Right there and there. Sometimes I end up making it worse. Until it gets better. Okay, so now that it's centered, first thing, trim the bevel. And then do any smoothing we need to right there. Then we're going to trim right next to that bevel. Dig in and then fade away. Dig in and fade out. I might bring this whole thing in narrower. Which is why we don't want to trim the inset foot yet. Make sure we like the size and shape of the foot. And we've done the bulk of our trimming. Before we go and trim that inset foot. On bowls I usually like to make a little bit bigger of a bevel. They stack better that way. And I like to make them curve a little bit, again for stacking reasons, as well as aesthetics. I like everything to be kind of curvy. And so it kind of works that way. Make sure you don't trim down into the altered area if you've got altered areas, which I do. So should have fixed the thickness on those throwing. Okay, then I'm going to trim the inset foot down right here, and then start trimming across and back. I like to trim a nice deep edge so that as I come across here I've got something to bump into. Means I'm less likely to accidentally jump up and slice through that. Trim that nice and deep on the side and fade it up a bit. This one had a pretty distinctive curve all the way through the bottom.